my friends, to a podcast that's been described as incredibly positive and upbeat. Through the power of friendship, anything is possible. If you are having a bad day, your old pal Godzilla's here. You can just pop in a movie or you can play a game on a Game Boy, like KES and Slick did on this episode of the podcast from Odo Island. Welcome to the podcast from Odo Island. Follow us on the Twitter at Odo Island Pod. I am KES, and with me, as always, is a man who bleeds green. Slick, how you doing today?
I'm sliding into this one like Chris Collinsworth on some Sunday Night Football.
Oh, so Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, get that man a Ricola. had a rough go of it last week.
Yeah. Glad you got that. So, this episode is our Game Boy episode for Godzilla games.
It is, but we're only doing two of the Game Boy games.
We're going to focus on the Gojira Kun game, but we're also going to cover Godzilla The Series. Before we leap and punch our way into that, I shouldn't have said leap because you can't do that. I already know there is news to talk about,
yes.
So we'll get into the news first.
Yes, the Godzilla Fest lineup has been announced, and I guess the big lead story with that is, so for context, that is a Godzilla Fest that Toho's been doing the last couple of years. It's, well, during COVID, it was all online. I know it's going to be online again this year, but I didn't really prepare for this. I don't actually know if there's any in-person component or not, but either way, it'll mostly be online again. And I guess like the big attraction is that I guess we're getting two shorts, but one of them is going to be the fan-funded Gemstone Godzilla vs. Gigan project is going to get an actual official Toho released, and it's going to be Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex, and we got a little trailer.
Yeah, we got a trailer.
Little trailer ski.
It looks very cool.
Yeah, cool. Like fan made all CGI projects. This I like the Godzilla design. I know that's been used in other like Gemstone trailers. Kind of gives me almost the same vibes as the Godzilla that was in Godzilla the Ride. The big beefy boy with the big elbows, but kind of gives me that cool vibe. I like the weird Gigan design going on.
I'm a big fan of this Gigan design.
Yeah. It's
very sleek and futuristic, less chickeny, but like it's still very menacing.
He looks like something that like a toy you would get out of a gumball machine.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
And at first you get two blue Gigans, and then I'm assuming one of them dies or they merge, and he vigors up and becomes a red Gigan.
Yeah, that gets this Gigan Rex. And
so
someone pointed out like the poster for like Godzilla Fest is it's like a headshot of like Godzilla 54, but somebody pointed out if you look closely into the eye of Godzilla 54, Gigan Rex is like reflected in the eye.
Oh, nice.
But I tried looking for that, but like the images on Twitter are just like so pixelated that like when you zoom in that close. So I'm gonna just assume Twitter didn't lie to me.
All right.
But yeah, that looks really cool. I guess we're gonna get the Bandai movie Monster Series Varan figure is supposed to get revealed. The one that won the fan contest. There's going to be a Godzilla Battle Line Summit. And panel, now that you're a big Battle Line player. Look what one episode did you. Rumor has it that we will Varan will probably be announced for the game as well to kind of coincide with the Bandai figure.
Cool.
So and then rumors abound of perhaps a movie announcement.
Ooh.
So that's November 3rd, mostly online. I have a ton of vacation time. I'm actually debating taking that day off and just and maybe the next day, maybe kind of hanging out and watching online. Like the other day, I have 6.5 weeks of vacation time. Oh, wow. I have to use a lot of that by the end of the year.
Get started, pal. There's other news that dropped today too.
What was that?
The old Carpenter.
Right. Yes.
So I think it's like maybe we don't know what it is. It was just a teaser. John Carpenter just sits down in a movie theater and he's just sitting there and then it like fades out, and the logo turns green, and then you hear Godzilla 54's roar.
Mm-hmm.
So, legend has it that he did a fan movie, where it was Godzilla versus Gorgo.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't remember who was doing it, so I was like asking you. I was like, "Is that who did it?" And yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And so I think it might be that, like a screening of what, like his fan movie. It could be something else. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. But
well, either way, it's wild, right? Either John Carpenter is going to give us some new Godzilla project that he's done, or we're going to get his old fan movie. Either way, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah. So either way, like you said, I'm pumped for it. That was cool news to see today. We're recording Thursday, our normal day. So that's when that news drops. So we got some nice little news tidbits.
Yeah, we had that. We had CM Punk. We had Celtics news today. It's been a hell of a news day.
Yeah.
But those are for another podcast. Those are the topics. But
Aaron Judge hitting 60 home runs.
Just been a wild day for all of our combined interests. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I wonder if that'll be like another like November 3rd ish drop, as November 3rd is Godzilla's birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting times ahead.
Whatever happened with that like baseball short that they were doing with the giant baseball that pops out of the field?
Oh yeah, I think that was just like a promotional commercial for the merchandise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was like I don't know if it was ever actually meant to be a short or like just like more like a promotional tool for the merch. Which
it got me. Today's events got me thinking about that.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's also like dropped on like November 3rd.
Okay.
Too. So, but yeah, I thought one news outlet said that there was going to be 2 short films on November 3rd, but Geigen Rex is totally like overshadowed everything at the moment. So, but that's cool. It's cool that Toho is taking like a fan project. From what I understand, it's like a fan independent project and like giving it like the official endorsement.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you on that.
You know,
like we've seen images of it on the internet for like a few years now.
Yeah,
so.
That seems very un-Toho like.
Yeah, so maybe
it's very Nintendo like.
Maybe they're getting with the times.
Or also not. They're usually like Nintendo. I was trying to more get at.
Yeah, Nintendo's well known for taking down fan projects. Like awesome fan projects that have like a ton of time dedicated to them, like a whole team of people working on it, and then Nintendo's like, no, fuck you. Yeah,
I'm a little split on that because like at this point it's kind of like if you're doing a fan project with like Nintendo properties, like what do you expect to happen at this point?
True, but like they don't have to do it. They did it because they want to.
They don't. I get it. You want to defend your IP. I get it. But
the IP, like,
but
they're like, thinking of
they're
is
like intense about it.
Some fans made like a 2D Ocarina of Time game, so
right,
Ocarina
like,
of Time, but in like the A Link to the Past style. So it wasn't like they were doing anything like bad with the property.
Right, that's like a ROM hack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I think these are. I get it if like something is like getting marketed in like a way that can be like. Is like deceptively marketed that like leads people to think that it is like an official Nintendo release. Like I get that, like you know, but I think when it's like essentially like a ROM hack type situation going on, like I don't know, it's kind of harmless.
It's not like they're putting it in black Tengen carts, you know?
Yeah, right. Or it's like didn't like Sega hire the people who did like the Sonic ROM hacks, and like that's how like Sonic Superstars or Classics, whatever it was, came about the other year.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that game was called. That was like people who made like fan games, right? Yeah. So yeah, different ways to go about it. You know.
Well, Sega good, Nintendo bad.
Well, one of them won the console wars, so they get yeah.
We got the Dreamcast. So that's our news. Anything else you want to talk about before we dive in?
No, I guess that covers it.
All right. Well,
so we'll start with Gojira Kun Kaiju Daikessen, or you know, Godzilla Kun: The Great Decisive Monster Battle. Was this your first time playing this before I start setting the old table here?
Nope, I've played it before.
Okay. The Japanese version or the American
The
version?
American version.
Okay. Did you play the Japanese version or the American
I
version?
played the Japanese version.
Okay. Gotcha.
I played both.
Gotcha.
Not for long, the Japanese version, I should say, but I played both.
Okay.
The American one I gave an honest shot.
Okay, gotcha. So, released in 1990, came out first in the United States in October, and then came out in December of 1990 in Japan. So, 1990 just kind of set the Godzilla scene at the time. Godzilla 84 is out, Godzilla vs. Biollante is out, and the Godzilla Land educational cartoon and merchandise line is going on, which is kind of what the artistic style of this game is based around.
You don't say.
It's published by Toho, developed by Compile. Compile is known for the Puyo Puyo series, which they had a pretty famous game. Like one of the Puyo Puyo games got released in America under a much different name and license. Do you know what game that is?
I was just looking that up right now because I know Compile.
And I'll give you a hint. The Sega version, it has one license. The Nintendo versions have a different license.
Oh, yes. Dr. Robotnik's Mean
The Mean Bee Machine. I like that game. And then they also did Kirby's Avalanche on Nintendo.
Yeah, so I the first time I played Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine was like 2003, 2004 on the GameCube Sonic Collection.
Yeah.
And that game's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good game. So yeah, that was another property of theirs. Like so they worked in the Puyo Puyo series, which gets reskinned to be Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bee Machine.
They also did Lunar Pool.
Well, all right. So just for simplicity's sake, I will call, even though the full title is Gojira Kun Kaiju Daikessen, we'll just call it Gojira Kun to make conversation easier. But it is the sequel to Gojira Kun on the MSX, which was released in 1985. Again, stylized after that Godzilla Land cartoon and merchandise line. Let's maybe now pivot into there's some more table setting, but I feel like we can I'll sprinkle it into the conversation as we go. So, your initial thoughts, comments on these games.
So this is a puzzle game. Well, kind of a puzzle game. It's a weird combination of puzzle and like almost action adventure, but like not quite. So you're Godzilla, but you're like a little cutesy guy. You will basically look like you're.
He's wearing a jacket, little jacket, a little Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. So he looks closer to the Bubble Bobble guys than Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just a little tiny guy, and you're basically climbing up vines and ladders, and you're punching blocks, and you're punching most of the enemies except for Hydra.
Yes, Hydra gets pushed back. Also, if you take too long to clear a puzzle, King Ghidorah is invincible, comes in and just whips your ass.
Yeah. He's there to clear house.
Yeah.
So you could just like hit select and try again once you see him, basically.
Yes.
Unless you're right next to an exit and can get there before he gets to you.
Yes. So so to kind of come off of that, so you gotta essentially, to clear a screen, you have to break all the rocks that are in the puzzle. As you were just saying, like you can't jump over the rocks, so it's like you gotta arrange and break the rocks like in a particular way, and then usually 1 to 2 different pathways open up to get you through this maze. In the US version, you are trying to find Minula. In the Japanese version, you're trying to find Godzilla's wife, Gojira. This is the only game that she appears in. So, and also the location, the square on the grid you got to get to in both games is different. But also, Godzilla's not wearing his cute little jacket and Hawaiian shirt in the American version.
Yeah, I was going to say, so basically the only real differences, I didn't know about the exit rooms, that's a good point, are the speed, the sprite swaps, and the title screen's a little different, so you don't get the cool intro that you get in the American version. You just get the cutesy one.
Yeah, as you get deeper, the first initial stages, the puzzles are the same, but as you get deeper into the Japanese version, a lot of the puzzles become different, and they become a little bit more challenging. Also, in the Japanese version, Godzilla has an atomic breath power-up that you can get in some levels, and you can use, because you have to use that to clear some puzzles, because like it essentially like it can break rocks like several screens away, or several spaces away, and or kill like any of the enemies that are coming at you. And so that atomic breath power up doesn't exist in the US version. It's only in the Japanese version. But the thing that I think is most interesting is that also Godzilla moves double his original speed in the Japanese version, but the AI is different for all the enemy kaiju. So Baragon pauses to yawn in place. Mechagodzilla only moves. Godzilla moves. Rodan hovers above and kind of dive bombs you almost, and I guess like the best way this game can convey.
Yeah.
And Hidoro stops moving at random times, and when punched, melts into a puddle. But other than that, like some of the other kaiju are essentially the same. Like Anguirus just kind of just comes flying out at you.
So one of the things about Heater is that you can kill him if you drop a block on him.
Yes. Can you do that in both versions, or is it just the US version? No, you can do that, I think, in both versions, which is funny. I was literally just playing it earlier today, and I totally forget. But so Godzilla gets the atomic breath, but in both games he has a giant fist just the size of himself.
Yeah, which is very weird. I'm not gonna lie. So basically, like, if you're expecting like a great Godzilla type game, this ain't it. Like, this is a puzzle game that they slapped the Godzilla property on and said, okay,
no, this is part of this is the second in a series. This is the second game in a series that has been going on for 5 years at this point.
This is not the Godzilla game that anyone wants.
It's not the game I wanted when I was a kid. It's a game I want now, and this is actually in Japan. This is like a very popular franchise.
When you put in the American version, you get like cool Godzilla, dangerous music, and then it's like, hey kids, it's Godzilla. What's going on? And it's not like it immediately changes themes after like the very first screen. Like you get this cool intro, and then it's like, nope. Fake out. It's Terrence and Phillips, not without my ass or whatever.
The Japanese version does a better job of keeping the theme from beginning to end. Yeah, I think that was a bad choice localizing the game. I guess. Well, I mean, I guess not. It comes out in 1990. I had this when I was a kid. Like, Godzilla Land's not a thing in America in 1990. So like, so like the box art in America is. It's actually Godzilla from Godzilla versus Gigan, and it's like all like the Showa cutouts of like all the enemies. And so like, this is back in the day, like you buy these games like brand new, you don't really know what like they're actually going to be. And I remember like putting it in, I was like, what the shit is this? Like when I was a kid, I was like, I don't want to play some weird cutesy puzzle game. Now I'm much more into this now.
Yeah. So nowadays, like I like puzzle games. Like Fire and Ice is a great game. Adventures of Lilo. There's 3 of those for NES. Those are really good. First one in particular, I think, is the best of that series.
Yeah.
But this is sort of in that vein. It's not so much like an action game. It's more of a puzzle game. Break the blocks, get to the exit, rinse and repeat. Pretty challenging, though, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I especially as you get deeper into the labyrinth, the puzzles get really difficult. Now, like one downside of the game, though, is that like the room that you got to get to doesn't change from game to game. So like if you just know the path you got to take to get to that room, like you don't have to complete all the puzzles. Like you can just kind of go like a shortened path and like,
okay.
But I think, when I look at this, like, yes, well, like the goal is like to save Minula or like Godzilla's wife, which is the only time Godzilla has a wife or a girlfriend. But like it, like part like the fun of this game is like going around and trying to play all the different puzzles. I find puzzle games like this to be very relaxing.
So like if you go into this like thinking like you want a Godzilla game, like you're gonna have a bad time. If you go in this knowing that it's a puzzle game, you're probably gonna have a pretty decent time.
Yeah, this is from my understanding, particularly in Japan, this is the Gojira Kun games, of which there are 2. Are very well received. I think just they're just people like puzzle games, I guess. But I think like at the time though, like in America, going like I'm like, this is what we got for a Godzilla Game Boy game. Like I remember being like,
that's what I mean.
I remember being like, as a kid, I remember being disappointed. Now that we got all these other Godzilla games, and I can kind of remove that aspect of it, and I just kind of like, no, this is like a nice fun.
So that's what I mean. It feels like a game that was like made like Like, you know how that Dino Crisis game for N64 got turned into a Star Fox game?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it feels like one of those things.
I guess I would just disagree with that because this is again the continuation of a game series.
I understand,
Yeah.
but like I'm just saying, like from the box art to like the title screen, and then you get to the gameplay, it just feels like what? It feels like a bait and switch. It's a dusty finish.
Yeah, I think that's a problem with the American version, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the Japanese version is really going like this is part of that Godzilla Land cartoon, which is like out. Like it makes the Japanese release in style makes a lot more sense to me because like there's context around it. Like, you know, that like chibi style Godzilla is popular because they got the cartoon that like they're basing it on. And like you go, okay, this is a game kind of tied to the cartoon.
So
or in the vein of the cartoon. As America, where you don't have any of that.
So something we had in America though, were like, you know, James Bond Jr. type of games. So they could have called this Godzilla Jr. and it probably would have sold just as well. And
maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how well it sold in America because Godzilla was kind of not too much of a thing in 1990 in America.
Like I'm thinking in terms of gameplay, like we had like a bunch of those types of games where like Indiana Jones Jr. Like
we just have the wave of juniors.
That's what I mean. So we could have called this Godzilla Jr. and not like misled the public with this game.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel deceived.
Gotcha. Yeah, but also when I learned later that like the American version is like a kind of watered down version of the Japanese version, where it's like the AI for all the kaiju in the American version is like this is pretty much like
just moving around.
Yeah, they just like they're like heat seeking you or whatever, where it's like they all kind of actually have like personalities and dynamics in like the Japanese version. You know, and you lose the atomic breath power up. Like there's no reason to ever play the American version. There's not. I mean, like if you can get a ROM of the Japanese version, or like it's not too expensive to buy the actual cartridge like online, like just buy that. It's got more challenging puzzles. It's you know, more involved gameplay, and you know, I like the fact that like I don't know, I like it when like Pac-Man ghost type enemies have like their own like unique AI going on. I think that's a little cool little thing.
Yeah, so aside from Hidra and Ghidorah, like the other enemies didn't really have much of a difference. Like Rodent can fly, but that's it.
Yeah, well,
like the other ones are just moving around. You just punch them and kill them.
Baragon feels like you know, yawning a little bit here and there. Yeah. You know, Godzilla's moving when you're moving. Rodan's kind of like plotting against you. But yeah, in the American version, they all just kind of come out and they all just like chase after you. There's not really much to it. What else is there? I don't know. Anything else about this one?
I mean, it's not that deep of a game. Like I said, if you want a puzzle game, this is pretty fun. If you want like a Godzilla game, stay far away from this because you'll just be annoyed. You'll just be like, what the fuck?
Well, in 2022, you should be able to figure out very quickly what you're going to get into. So you shouldn't have that problem.
And I've played this game previously. I was just explaining it as like a first time player.
Right. Well, yes. You were not going to get your action Godzilla game out of this one.
Yeah.
But you're going to get, I think you're going to get a very good puzzle game.
I wouldn't know. I don't know about very good. I think just good.
Okay.
There are better puzzle games for those systems.
Sure.
Like the Game Boy and NES.
Sure. But if you like puzzle games, I think you'll find something to enjoy here.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say. I forget, have we been saving the rankings to the end or okay.
We're doing them at the end as we go.
Yes. Well, then that takes us to our second game for this episode, which I suspect we're probably going to be a little bit more unified on.
Okay.
Godzilla the Series for, well, it says Game Boy Color, but it comes in the still classic Game Boy Black cartridge and works both on Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Obviously, you only get the color effects if you're playing on Game Boy Color. This was the first of two Game Boy and Game Boy Color games based on Godzilla the Series. This was published by Crave Entertainment and developed by Crawfish Entertainment. Crawfish Interactive. Excuse me. I'm not very familiar with Crawfish Interactive.
No, me neither.
How would you describe this fantastic piece of media.
Not that way. So basically, you are Zilla, and you are a giant sprite on the left-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, but only a head, arm, legs.
The tail shows up.
You're right. The tail shows up.
So, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to kill the people who come up and try to shoot you. You're trying to kill the vans or the jeeps who come up and try to shoot you. You're trying to kill the planes. You're trying to kill anything that comes your way.
Yes.
And true to Zilla form, he is very easily killed by man-made weaponry. And so this game is not very fun. It's very hard to control where you're shooting. The targets move around a lot. And to steal a phrase from a local sports radio show, I think it sucks and it blows.
Yeah, so it's like a side-scrolling rail shooter, basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
And you got a you can shoot a little fireball. You can do a tail attack, which doesn't really serve any purpose.
You are the opposite of Aaron Judge.
You also have a stomping attack, which I still don't actually know how to do. And yeah, it sucks. This game sucks.
It's a really bad game. Like, obviously, it was something that was churned out in 98, 99 to capitalize on the cartoon. It was 99 that cartoon came out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And the cartoon was very popular. It was it was like the number one like Saturday morning cartoon for a while. And yeah,
the demo Godzilla.
Demo Godzilla. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, it's just if I could say like one positive thing about it, you get cutscenes with like all the character, like, they're trying to actually string a story through this game, and the human characters from the show like talk or whatever, their text or their dialogue kind of reads like their personalities like on the show, which is good. Cameron Winters, who's like kind of like one of the main antagonists throughout the Godzilla the Series cartoon, is like the villain of the game, which is good. Although they constantly misspell his name throughout the game. It's either Cameron Winters or Cameron Winter, and they are very inconsistent with that. I don't really get how you. Well, I guess when you don't give a shit, I guess you little things like that.
When he's by himself, he's Winter, but when he's with a group of people, he's Winters.
But like things that like really suck about this game. To add like a little bit more meat to this conversation, we could just kind of vent our frustrations about this game. But it was like, yeah, like you said, when you shoot the fireball, like your head, Zilla's head goes like 5 different angles you can shoot a fireball at.
Yeah.
And so like it's like the responsiveness though of moving his head is extremely slow, and then you got to shoot a fireball, and these like things that are like running across the ground are so fast that you like, or they're not even like that fast, but it's like they're just so much faster than like your stupid slow ass fireball attack that it's like they're already like on you. Like by the time you shoot that fireball off, and then like you have a guard to like block, to, like not take damage, but like even like doing that like takes forever. I found no purpose for the tail attack. The tail attack like goes in like the middle of the screen.
Like it's only for like
forever.
Airplanes when you get them at like the perfect height, you can get it.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's pretty much useless.
And it's like, but it's also like so slow that it's like the plane's already going to probably gone by the time it gets there.
So it's like one of those things where you have to anticipate the placement of the enemy before they get there. But like you're never going to play this game enough to where you're good at that.
Yeah. There's like no music during the levels. It's just a weird, distorted stomp noise. Yeah, it's just.
On the other hand, though, for a Game Boy Color game, looks fantastic.
Yeah, graphically it looks pretty good. No, I mean it does. Yeah,
like Zilla looks really good. The color palette's good for like the limitations that thing had. So like it's like you're playing it and you're like, okay, I like what I see, but you just wish the game was better.
Right. It's just yeah, it feels very thrown together. It's extremely repetitive.
Yeah.
Extremely long. It's not good. It's not good.
No.
I'm gonna tell you that.
No.
and they made a second one.
Well, I did not play the second. I did play some of the Game Boy Advance games though, and those were actually really fun.
Godzilla Domination.
Yeah,
I need to actually buy that.
Yeah.
That is a. It looks like it plays like kind of like the King of the Monsters game, like
Yes.
the SNK ones that were on like Super Nintendo and stuff. It looks like it plays like that. I've actually heard it's like very fun. I've just it's like one of those things I have like a Mercari or eBay alert for.
Yeah.
And I'm just like waiting for it to like get to a good price, and then I'll buy it.
We'll get more in depth in those on another episode maybe, but like just to brush on it really quick. It looks great, plays really fun. It's like a real like side scrolling, like it's more like open, almost like the whatchamacallit, the Atari games, the
like the Save the Earth games, or
the Pipe Dream games or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, okay.
Almost like that, but like way dumbed down and like 2D.
Yeah.
But like then you get like boss levels.
Well, I think Godzilla Domination, I think the box art is actually the same box art they use for Destroy All Monsters Melee.
It is. Yeah.
So
but like I said, you get like you fight like a giant Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fun. So it's like a real 2D game. So but like if you're looking for a Godzilla game, play that. Don't play Godzilla the series.
We'll have to pair that eventually with Godzilla Double Smash on the DS that came out the same time as Godzilla Unleashed, which I have, and it's like a weird polygonal side-scrolling game that like I remember going like it was like this is like not good, but I have not played it like in a long time, and maybe I'll revisit it to see if it's as bad as I remember or if there's like redeeming qualities to it. But like sometimes when I get away from these things and it's like they've been out for like years and we have other Godzilla things that came out and like I can like not view it so much as like a recent release and just as like another thing that exists on the spectrum of Godzilla games, I can go, oh, okay, there's some redeemable qualities here. Or maybe there won't be. I don't know.
So I've never played that game, but I've seen people play it.
Yeah, it's I started being really repetitive is what I remember. I feel like that's kind of like the death knell of like a lot of these like handheld Godzilla games. Extreme
and console games.
Yeah, just Godzilla games in general. I guess like they all just seem to be so repetitive at times. Yes, actually, every Godzilla game I think we have played to this point, and even ones we haven't played yet, I'm just going, yes. Their worst flaw is that they're super repetitive.
Yeah, not much depth.
No,
much variation.
No. Come on, we need like.
That's what I'm saying. My game is the game. You're a person. You're trying to escape the city from Godzilla. You're Godzilla. You're trying to destroy the city. You're Godzilla. You're trying to protect the city from another monster. Or you're Godzilla trying to destroy the city and there's another monster there. A lot of variation to it.
Yeah, City Shrouded in Darkness is 1/3 of the game you were describing.
That's why I want like multiple things. That way
yes.
to get rid of the shallowness of the experience.
Yes. Maybe we'll get it someday. Well, shall we rank these?
I think rank's a good word for these.
We'll give them the old 1 star as if they were a jobber, up to 5 star if they're a main eventer. Although for this we have kind of said
I don't think we're gonna have any main eventers today.
So we're going first with well, let's get Godzilla the series out of the way.
Okay.
Should we just do 3, 2, 1, both say our rank?
Yeah. So do we say it on 1 or do we say it on 3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1,
Jobber.
1 star.
Yeah, so we're in agreement. Yeah.
This is the new floor. This is the new floor for Godzilla games.
It's like I said, the best thing about it is it looks good. The worst thing about it is everything else.
Yes. Now we won't do that for Gojira Kun, but
I want to give this 2 rankings though, if you don't mind.
Like
not that these actually matter in the grand scheme of things.
Sure.
I just want to rank it in terms of a Godzilla game and a puzzle game.
Okay. Would you like? I'll just do it as a Godzilla game.
Yeah. So I just want to give it 2 rankings. As a Godzilla game, 1 star.
Gojira Kun?
Yeah.
Oof, boy.
As a
Brutal.
Godzilla game. As a puzzle game, 3, but like a high 3.
Okay. Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah. Like it's because I did enjoy playing it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do like these types of games.
Gotcha. I am big on this game. I like this game a lot. It's a 4-star from me.
Yeah.
I
thought you were gonna go there, so that's why I went down a little.
Yeah. Well, it's even like, you know, I've played this game a lot over the past year because I got like the actual Game Boy cart and the Japanese Game Boy cart and yeah, I find puzzle games like this again to be very like relaxing. Like that's like and like Lolo and stuff too. Those like very relaxing gameplay experiences. For me.
It's not like super intense, but like you're using your brain to figure things out.
Yeah.
Like that's what I enjoy out of this. Is like it keeps me young.
I like it when you can just kind of like, you know, granted there is like kind of like a time component too, because like King Ghidorah will like come and kill you if you don't clear the puzzle, but it's like, you know, like with this or like Lolo or, you know, other games like that, it's like you can get like a puzzle, you can just kind of like, you know, then pause it, like walk away, like, you know, have a drink, come back, like, oh yeah, let me just like kind of, it's like doing a crossword.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
It's like you're just chipping away at it, you know, like the urgency to beat it in like one sitting isn't there. You know, I don't feel stressed to beat it like in one sitting. You know, I just go, yeah, it's like a crossword puzzle. I'm gonna chip away at.
So the only negative I have about this really is that like if you play a game like Dr. Mario or like I said, Fire and Ice, Solomon's Key. Actually, I think I probably like this more than Solomon's Key, but like not as much as well. Like there's better puzzle.
There's better, yeah, exactly. There's better.
So that's why I rank it a 3. It's kind of like it's okay, not great in my opinion, but like I said, I enjoyed playing it. You really like playing it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But what matters most is that Godzilla the series sucks and blows.
Yeah. Final word on that.
So, you got any figs?
So you know what I got? I got the sequel to Godzilla the Series on Game Boy. I got Godzilla the Series Monster Wars on Game Boy Color. That's my one purchase this week.
So go in, give me a review.
I only turned it on just to make sure that it worked. Like
okay.
I put it in my GBA to make sure that it worked. I was at a video game convention, and I was shuffling through a bin of like just, I don't know, random Game Boy games, DS games or whatever, and it was there for like $5, and I said, well, it's here and I don't own it, I gotta own it. So
for $5 too, I would have bought it too.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, to plug the hole in the collection, you know. So yeah, so now I have it. I don't know if I will ever play it. Monster Island Buddies actually, like, which is great YouTube channel to watch. Like he actually just did a video this week on those two Game Boy games, and so the timing of this is kind of funny. But like
we're definitely piggybacking off of him.
Oh yeah,
we planned this out.
I mean, he heard what we were gonna do, and someone leaked it. We got some leaks in these walls, but it's like it's literally the same game. I mean, like. Same sprites, same controls, obviously different story and stuff, but like there's something about it that like I guess like that actually makes it worse. I forget what it was that he said, but I don't really feel like playing the game to find out. So,
so I'll download the ROM and find out for you then.
Yeah, there's something like it's like something basic is like made worse. I don't recall what it was though, but yeah, I mean, you know, I have it.
You have it.
I have it. So that's probably about the most I'll ever say about that game is that I have it. But I don't know if I got anything else. It's like, again, it's like the episode before, it's like I had like 20 something purchases.
Yeah.
And then I have one. I should spread them out a little bit.
So not without trying, but I did attempt to find some figures, didn't find any. Then again, I didn't go to like Newbury Comics to try to get the Super 7 figures like you recommended.
Oh, yeah. Which
bother.
are actually randomly now showing up in Target.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in Target, so.
The Target that you go for your watermelon White Claws had some. I think
they don't have them anymore.
Oh, really?
It's been very sad.
Oh, they don't have the watermelon White Claws anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. But
I haven't had them for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Oh, that's too bad.
They're,
Those elusive watermelon White Claws.
they're so good.
They're as elusive as the new Godzilla Ultima Playmates figure.
So I've seen pictures of that, but I haven't seen it in stores. That's what I've been looking for. That the King Ghidorah and the 54 12-inch or 24-inch, depending on how you measure. 24 head to
24
tail.
tall.
Yeah.
24 yeah. Yeah, that's so random. Like that just suddenly exists.
So I've been looking for that. I can't find it, but I have seen a fair amount of Godzilla figures in Targets and stuff. So
yeah, the Target in our town is doing a good job keeping the distribution flowing.
Terrible job at stocking the shelves and appearance, but
yes, there's a lot of people who do not take care, and I think we all had retail jobs at some point when we were kids. It was, you either called it refacing or restocking.
yeah,
We had to go I remember working at the grocery store that I worked at when I was a kid, and they were always like, yeah, you go up and down the aisles, you got to restock, reface everything, center it, clean up the aisle.
yeah.
The Target in our town,
They don't do
nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. Any section. Section.
I used to manage a Borders, and the children's section was always just torn apart in a nightmare, and you would fix it, and then 2 hours later it would be torn apart again. And so everyone eventually gave up until we hired a person just to work the children's section.
Yeah.
And then it's still, you couldn't keep up with it.
Well,
that's our Target.
I had to go to our town Target earlier today because, spoilers, even though he doesn't listen to the podcast, it's one of our friends' birthdays this weekend. Our mutual friend Matt's birthday is this weekend, and I had to buy him a birthday gift. But of course, I went through the usual aisles, and I saw everything was kind of neatly arranged, and I said, district manager or somebody must be coming for a tour because this place does not ever try to organize their shit. But no, they I'm glad our Target has a regular stock now, the transforming Godzilla and Kong. The playset is seems it comes and goes fairly quick, but they kind of have a steady supply going in.
Whenever I see that playset, I just think of the weird guy I tried to befriend, and
oh yeah. And then what else was there today? I think the new poster Godzilla 14 or burning Godzilla, the Godzilla 2014 with the flame reflection was there, and I was like, good. It's good to see these are they're coming. It looks like people are buying them. They're getting replaced. It was good. So
did you get Matt the China with the Rocco doll?
No, I got him a Batman versus Hush 2 set that was on clearance.
Okay.
Because it was on clearance. So I think he'll enjoy that. All
right.
He's a big Batman collector.
He is a Batman boy.
But that was my only real purchase.
Hey, how'd you get all the way over there?
I went home and we just found figures on as soon as we left each other, we found figures on our way home. They fell out of the sky.
Okay, that's what happened. Yeah, so we're splicing in here. When we recorded on Thursday, we had nothing for you, but I went out on Saturday, and in the wild, I call it the good Target because there's a bunch near us, and there's one that just, for whatever reason, it always has something for me. They had 2 of them sitting there. It was serendipitous. The 1954 Playmates 12-inch tall Godzillas. I'll defer to your judgment here. I already had my opinion.
It was figure fate. It was figure fate is what it was.
It was figure fate, yeah.
So my initial take, is that what you're looking for here?
Yeah, I already know how I feel, but I want to know how you feel about these.
So I gotta say, so we saw these on Twitter, or making the rounds on social media anyway, and when I first saw the picture, I thought the mold was good, but I thought the paint, on social media, I thought the paint was a little weird because it seemed almost like the head was a different shade of gray than the rest of the body. But seeing this in person, I can confirm that the paint is uniform all the way through. Yeah. The mold is great. The detail, I think, is great. You get swivel at the head. You get some shoulder joints, leg joints, tail joints, and there's little ankle joints in true Playmates fashion. Godzilla 54 is not in a just like default standing pose. He is in a walking pose.
Oh yeah, he's
because
walking.
it would not be a Playmates figure if it was not in a walking pose. But I gotta say, this I think, especially for $20, is a fantastic 1954 figure. Like looking at this, I don't see like any outside of like maybe like where it's like a little smooth around like the thighs and the leg joints. Like I think where like the detailing gets a little smooth. I don't think there's like any real lack in detail in this figure. I mean, you know, the paint is what it is. Like it's a gray molded figure with some kind of like whitish grayish paint on like the hands and the toes, and you know, just kind of like white paint on like the eyes and the teeth, whatnot. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, Godzilla 54 is not known for its, you know, catching color scheme. I don't know. I think this is a great figure, I think.
Okay, so a couple things that I want to draw to your attention about this. The color scheme. It's almost like this is a Game Boy Godzilla.
Because like almost like monochrome.
It's almost monochrome, like grayish green kind of thing going on. Yeah, but yeah, it does have the trademarked Playmates smoothing. Like it's on all their figures. I'll never understand it. The head is like sort of like my favorite part. I think they did a really good job with it. It is a larger figure, but at least it's very well detailed. You get the eyebrows, you get the ears. His hands are in like this weird like he's gonna play like Nintendo Wii type of grip.
That's true. That is true.
You've got a figure to compare it to now. What figure is that?
It is one of the. I think it's the first run of the Bandai Movie Monster series, Godzilla 54, which has like a more, you know, not so much movie accurate paint job, but has a little bit more paint put on it than the later releases do. It's a figure actually I enjoy quite a bit. And I'm kind of like looking at it, and it's like, and again, like comparing this like to it, like even like a Bandai Movie Monster series figure, like the detail is better on a lot of fronts. Like the face is like it's mostly in the face. Like the head is like much more detailed. The smaller Bandai Movie Monster series figure, but also like, but this one's like 12 inches, so that's kind of cool. and this one's walking, so that's kind of cool too. But no, as you pointed it out, I instantly started looking at like the hand grips. Like the Bandai one has much more like movie accurate like hand pose, and yes, I guess the Playmates one could probably be gripping like maybe like a Game Boy Advance or something like that. could actually probably be fit into this figure's hands.
He definitely looks like he should be holding like a poster of some kind. So this is a very memeable figure.
Maybe he can hold the Sammy Guevara
exactly
poster boards that come with that figure.
Like he definitely looks like he should be holding something. But like I don't know. For me, the head's the best part of this. Like I will defer to your judgment that the Bandai Movie Monsters figure is a lot more detailed. No one will probably dispute that with you. But overall, for new in store, if like you don't have any representation of 54 in your collection, which I didn't until like 3-4 years ago. So, but this is a quality figure in my opinion. Real good job, Playmates. You're not a terrible figure company anymore.
No, I think this is a really cool figure. I think for $20 to get this like nice tall. Well, let's play this. The Bandai Movie Monster Series one that I'm holding up is probably when it was like retailing brand new was less than $20 or about $20. So you're talking about like the same price point. And again, it's like it's always cool to have like a foot tall figure. Yeah. You know, like. And I think the detail is there. It's not, again, nearly as detailed as the Bandai figure is. But I think it's eye-catching. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. I like it.
It pops.
I like it. I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Odo Island likes their figures to pop.
Yeah, I think I have it up in my in the room where my main collection is, and also the room that I work remotely out of. And I feel like it's a nice little piece. I can look off to the side while I'm working and go, "Oh, that's a cool little figure right there." So I appreciate it. I like it.
That's how I feel about my NECA RoboCop.
Well, I guess that is what this is to me at the moment. So, no, I like it. I mean, I don't really have any critiques. I mean, I wish they kind of had like maybe like some sort of maybe like a little bit of like a smattering of another color of paint on the body to give like a little bit of detail, a little bit of texture.
I wish maybe it was a little bit darker for the main color.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this like looks like how you would see it in the movie. But from like what they say in real life is that the actual suit kind of had like a mix of grays and browns going on, and so it'd be kind of cool if like you kind of got a little bit of that reflected here. But no, I think it's good. I mean, the dorsal plates look good. They are just kind of slabbed with like a flat paint, and I feel like that kind of loses some of the detail a little bit. Like you could have accented a little bit with a little bit of color shading, but. You know, at the end of the day, though, I'm not gonna. That's you know, kind of calling out small stuff, and I think this was good overall. I like this.
I think when you have to nitpick, you got overall a good figure. And aside from like the hands and like you said, the paint of the dorsal, the fins, and the in between, like for what it is, like I didn't expect them to cover that up, but like it does have like that sort of just like dunked in paint look to it. But overall, quality figure. Good job, Playmates.
Well, I'll say this: there was it's like deep back, like one of my shelves right now. But like, Bandai America put out a 1954 figure a couple of years ago that you could buy in Target and Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was the one I got.
This is light years. Yeah, I think you have that too. I think.
Yeah,
this is like light years ahead of that. Like, forget the size, like, just the mold. Like, this is so much better than what that figure was.
I like that figure just because he's got a tiny little head. We've talked about this before. That's Shane Douglas' small head ECW figure.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, this is like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised now if we get, like, this in scale with the other Playmates Godzilla figures. Like, this is a good mold, if we do. You know, but light years ahead of that Bandai America mold, in my opinion.
All right, so not as good as Bandai Movie Monsters, but better than Bandai America.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we'll go with that.
I think I agree with you. So I have no basis of reference for the Movie Monsters one, aside from maybe like seeing yours in passing one time.
Yeah, well, again, it's like how Bandai usually goes. The detail is great. The paint could be a little bit better, but again, this was the first run of that figure. And I think the paint on this one is really good. Friend of the pod, Shinra Gojira, often rants about the later releases of this figure that have awful paint applications. But this original one with the original paint mold is very good. It's actually literally one of my favorite figures from Bandai that I have. So,
well, it's good we got a figure purchase in here.
So, in the original version of this recording, which may or may not still exist after this, we decided we were going to do some kind of special Halloween episodes, and we just kind of said, "Oh, we're going to do Gamera." A Gamera movie, and then we're going to do Bride of Frankenstein, which for more actual Halloween. And I will say to you, we didn't actually pick a Gamera movie, but I think we should probably do, my recommendation would be do Gamera versus Baragon, which is the second Gamera movie. A little bit, still, I haven't seen it in a long time, still a little bit more on the serious side. It's the one that comes before Gamera versus Gauss.
Okay.
So it feels more Halloween-y in the sense that it's still very serious Gamera. But again, not a movie I've seen in a long time, but it feels like it fits the October vibe the most of all the Showa Gamera movies.
Okay, well, if it stinks, it's on you.
I mean, it could. Again, I haven't watched it in a really long time.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
I've only listened to my last frame of reference for Game Boy versus Baragon is our good friend Matt at the Atomic Turtle podcast did an episode on it before he did an episode with us, and then went to hiatus for a long time. But hey, he's back. So
And better than ever.
So yeah, I think that'd be a good one to do.
All right. Well, that's what we'll do then. Maybe there'll be an abrupt splice in. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do a bunch of cuts. Who knows?
Maybe.
I'm gonna get jiggy with it.
I will leave the listeners with this. Gamera is full of turtle meat.